Hey people, good evening. Welcome to OINK Live. My name is Adero Ocholler. Remember to roll the R. We're first of all sorry for doing this show a bit late. We had problems with the ISP, but sasa tuko on. I have two special guests with me, Felix Oloo and Kennedy Kariuki. Karibuni sana to our show. I hope mko salama.
Kabisa.
And thank you so much for being patient with us and agreeing to stay on as we kept on trying to make this work. I know you also have your mafans. Mafans walikuwa wanangojea na naona bado wako gangari, wakachonjo. So, yes, I want to welcome you once again to the show. I'll start by introducing Felix Oloo. Who is Felix Oloo? He is the current Kenya Lionesses HC Nakuru and Talent Development Officer at New Life International, where he has identified and developed young talents in various disciplines. He has extensive experience in unusual and creative in handling talents. His recent features are qualifying for Olympics, Dubai finalists, World Cup qualifier finalists, L.in.K champion. Sam nasikia hiyo CV kubwa. Huu ni mtu mzito ako kwa hisho. So Felix, welcome kabisa.
Asante, thank you.
Anything else you want to tell us about yourself?
I was guided by you. I was not guided by you. So you tell me what you want to hear. No problem.
Yeah, I've introduced you as a head of the Kenya Lionesses rugby national team. I've introduced you as the head coach of Nakuru Top Prize. So maybe there's something else unataka tujue yenye hatujui.
Maybe a primary school teacher.
Awesome! Yes.
Yeah.
And you love working with the kids.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how long have you been? Can you just tell us your who Felix is from your childhood, like where you grew up, your upbringing to where you are today? Just a brief.
I'm a humble guy at the same time. I'm in between because I've gone through a tough life, coming from a very humble background, and when I finished high school, the parents those days were like, I don't want to see you in rugby. I don't want to see you doing stay focused. Yeah. So I ended up in rugby, and my first game was in 2003, sometimes in November against Harlequin. I remember that game. We were defeated badly. That was 37-3. And I can't forget, this was Daniel Kipchoge. That guy was massive. He was huge. He could just come, run, then guys like another guy, Manga, walk, like that. Yeah? So Felix accepting the situation was at home. Simply because we usually have that problem of you want to be like so and so. So I had to accept we are not the same. I'm not the same like other guys in my team. So I would do what? I would walk around, get some jobo, casual laborers. At some point, I was doing this job of beba. Yeah. But at 4 p.m., I'm at Nakuru Athletics Club. You won't notice anything. You won't know anything. Then, in my usual whatever, moving up and down. Sometimes back, I meet a guy in a road, in a road somewhere in Milimani, and he's like, "Hey, excuse me, I'm looking for a guy who can do gardening work." And I was like, "Okay, let me get you somebody." So I went home, thought about it. After a week, After a week, the guy called me, and I was like, okay, I didn't find a guy. Maybe, do you mind if I come and do the job by myself? And he was like, if you can do the job, you come. But by that time, I was not in good terms with my parents because whatever they expected me to get in high school, they thought I was a university material, and I disappointed them in one way or the other. So things were not that rosy at home. So I had to do something by myself. So I went down and did the job. And 4 p.m. as usual, Felix Oloo. So no one would know exactly that this was Festo. This was happening. Then sometime like 2005. That was 2005. So these bosses of mine, I love them to pieces. I love them to pieces because anyway, it's through them that I am here, and I believe God works in miraculous ways, and that's why I'll challenge each and every person. Never question whatever is happening in your life. Everything is happening with a reason. Everything is happening with a reason, because here I am doing the gardening job. Then all of a sudden, there are some volunteers who come to visit my boss, and they're like, "Oh, we want to visit you." So I take them home. They're like, "Oh, Festo, so this is your home?" Yeah, this is my home. So where do you sleep? And I was like, "Okay, where you're stepping, that's where I sleep." And they're like, okay. And where does your sister and other bros is? My sister, we are four siblings. So one, I'm the firstborn. So my second-born, our second-born, that is my sis, sleeps on the couch. Yeah, he sleeps on the floor. That born, that is divorced, sleeps on the floor with me. Then the last born on the other couch. So that was it. Then she was like, "Do you love your job? Do you love what you're doing?" I said, "Yes. Oh, everything that I do it passionately. I always do everything that I do passionately. I love everything that I do about myself." So, and they are like, "So, what would you like to be?" And I was like, "I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I don't know how to go about it." "So, what did you get?" I got a seaplane." "You got a seaplane?" "Yeah." "So, do you think you can get a primary school, college somewhere?" I thought, I don't know. Actually, by then I didn't know where to start from. So they're like, "Okay, now for us to take you to school, you'll have to teach me Swahili. So if I'll get Swahili, if I'll know how to speak in Swahili, I'll do what? I'll take you to school." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So first of all, here he is. Following day, went downtown, get these translation books, English to Swahili, and here I am, yeah? One by one,
Yeah.
one by one, Ivo pole 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 pole, yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it. So to cut the long story short, yeah, in the end, this lady is by the name Colin. I hope she's following us on OINK. I hope so, because she might attest to all this.
Yeah.
Colin, at the end of everything, Colin, when she was giving a farewell to the church where she was volunteering, she gave the farewell in Swahili, and it was a long. And she was even given a standing ovation. After that, she took me to a cyber cave, and she was like, "Now you'll have to apply. Yeah? I need to make sure you're in school. I need to make sure before I go, you got a place in the institution." So we applied it to in all the colleges, all the private school colleges, and here FEBS comes the following year. That is 2006. 2006 is here. One of the chicks has already left. She was from Switzerland, has already left. Now I'm left with Colin, who is from States. Yeah, yeah, she is, and she's also doing what? Going. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I kept, "Okay, God, I still trust you. I'll keep doing my job faithfully. I won't do anything stupid. Let me do my job. So my boss would tell me, I need you here at 7 o'clock. Felix was there at 6 a.m. I need you to leave here at 3 o'clock. Felix is leaving the Jobo at 4 p.m. So when I knew I was having a game on Saturday, I would request, kindly, I won't be in on Saturday. Allow me to come and do the Jobo on Sunday. And since they were coming from a Christian background, they would say, no, on Sunday we want to see you in church. Yeah. Wow. So they were like, okay, we understand you. You do whatever you love doing, but you'll come to church maybe first service or second service, but we want to see you in church. So I would go to their place, or maybe the first 4 hours I'm at Jobo, then the next 4 hours then they come to church, or the next weekend I'm in church, then going there after the 4 hours, like that. Then all of a sudden, I get a letter from Kamagambo Adventist College, and I'm like,
yes.
Now, so how am I going to go about it? So I went to the cyber cafe where she had introduced me, and she had left a note to that girl there. When this guy comes, kindly help him. He doesn't know how to use computer and anything. How's that? You can imagine, the Danda had these things to do with IT. I didn't do anything. So, so like that, me going there with my barua, with my letter, the attendant was like, hey, finally it's here. She sends an email to Carlin. All of a sudden, Carlin introduces me to another lady by the name Diane. Then Diane calls me and tells me, hey, you know what? I'm the one who I've heard many things about you, what you're doing, what you love doing, and I've decided I'm taking you to school. So the following day, I'm getting a message, hey, go to the Western Union, 120 Gs. Well, you can imagine. Felix had the cheese you own as well.
Uli crack. I hope I went that bet. Uli lipa
First went to Post Bank, and let me tell you, God works in miraculous ways. If there's somebody mwenye ameona Mungu, it's me. Yeah? So
Amen.
Mimi niko hapo Post Bank. Nimeenda na gambut. Ninatoa gambut. I've been given 120 Gs, nikazipanga 60 per day ndani ya gambut. Nimevaa viatu.
Wow.
Going back home to my keja, meza on my table. Now I'm counting them one by one. It's first to sing 120 Gs. Kachukua the tablecloth, nikafunika pesa yote hapo juu ya meza.
Stop the money.
Yes. So I'm there, then went back to Jobo, and I had to tell now my bosses, hey, this has happened, and they were like, they were so happy about me. They were really excited, and they were like, we are so happy. We are going to take you to school. We are going to do this and this and this. And I was like, hey, this is God. This is God. So me going back home, I'm going back home telling my mom, you know what? Very soon I'm going to college. By then, my sis had finished the high school and had done very well. The sis did very well. That one of my uncles in Nairobi wanted to do what? Wanted to take her. So they thought I was bringing what? Issues. Wapi? Mtaani that, hey, how come this uncle of mine never thought of Fesco? All of a sudden he's thinking of my sis. So it goes within the family. It goes tension within the family. And I didn't tell them anything that I've gotten a sponsor who is doing this. I just kept them to myself. So here, Festo is going to town, buying all the books that are required, buying all the covers. Festo anakuja tu anazikava, covering all the books, textbooks, everything that was needed. I bought everything and just kept them. Then 2 days to joining the college, I removed all my things and took them home. And they were like, Felix, are you serious? Are you for real? Why you have problems? I'm not bringing problems. It's true. I'm going to college. I won't tell you much of the things, but it's true. I'm going.
Yeah.
Then there's this family. There's this family. These guys. Honestly, they really held us, Kapsa. The karaoke's. The karaoke's. Yeah. Not Kennedy Kariuki.
No, not Kennedy.
And this family, in as much as we were staying in a wooden house, timber house, things like that, they really took care of us. I remember the mom would call me each and every night, gives me a Bible, and the favorite chapter was the favorite book was Proverbs. My son, my son, my son, my son, my son. If you go to Proverbs, you'll get those verses. Yeah. And she kept telling me how to pray, how to thank God, how to do stuff. And I remember one day her telling me, if God blesses you one day, always remember to give back. So me, I was like, God, you've taken me to school. Yeah. If I'll graduate, if I'll get a job, I'll give back. I'll give back to kids. I'll make sure the kids that I teach, I'll make sure they know where I've come from, what I was going through. Yeah. And that's why when I got a chance to come here to New Life, to me it was a real life, because it's where everything opened up for me. It's where everything just opened up. Yeah.
Okay.
So
so before you carry on, now that we've gotten to New Life, Felix, because that's where you currently are, and if you're watching us, I see comments coming in, and I'll read them just after I introduce Kennedy, guys. So Kennedy Kariuki is the manager of New Life Africa International, and he describes himself as your ordinary family guy. He's easygoing and very sociable, a graduate of environmental studies, that's communication development, currently pursuing a master's in project management. He's a community development practitioner and a NEMA licensed environmental impact assessment and audit expert. Where? Hey, this is Noma Moto. He loves working with children and young people and almost everything about cars. Kennedy, once again, karibu sana. I just want you to come in and tell us anything else about Kennedy that we should know.
Thank you for having me. Maybe just a small background. I also have a history, maybe not as complicated and as long as my colleagues. But I was born and brought up in Nairobi, in an average family. Attended school like normal kids, and went all through the way. The high up to high school, I was still studying in Nairobi. Then I joined Kenya University and graduated in year 2009. Then I joined a private practice as an environmental impact assessment expert. And then a year later, I joined New Life Africa International as a lead social worker. So for many years, I've been working at New Life Africa International as a lead social worker, and at the same time, practicing my the other part of environmental studies, doing impact assessments and other things. Yeah, I think my life is just that straight. So I've been working for New Life. I've been working at New Life for the past 10 years at different capacities, mostly with young people and children. And it's something that I've come to be very passionate about. And indeed, actually working at New Life has actually helped me grow my social skills, grow my circle of friends. So yeah, that's me.
That's you. All right. Thanks for sharing that. So,
Yeah.
can for anyone who's watching, I mean, like for me, my assumption even before I came, and thank you and Felix for having me last week on Thursday. You took your time to take me through who you are as New Life Africa International, and you really were what can I say, stand about. It's not new life. It's not just new life home, because I think for most of us, for Kenyans or many people around the world, people think it's just new life home. So I had a perception about it just being a children's home, and I learned so much. So can you kindly just take us through who is New Life? As in, yeah, who is New Life Africa International? Who are you?
So yeah, so New Life Africa International, it's a registered society in Nakuru, and it has a variety of programs, basically geared towards enhancing the lives of young people, children, and women. Maybe for us to understand better about New Life Africa International, we would rather start from a brief history, maybe not that brief, but some history. And it started way back in 1994 when a couple from Denmark, Susanna and Leif, were sent to Kenya as missionaries. So when they came to Kenya, they were moving around the country, meeting different communities, teaching about hygiene, HIV and AIDS, and such other contemporary issues. Then in 1995, they came to Nakuru and met Dr. Bishop David Ford of Philadelphia Church. By that time, Philadelphia Church, David Ford and his wife Eunice already had a feeding program, and they were doing it under a tree, doing it at least 3 days in a week.
Wow.
So the feeding program existed. So when Susanna and Leif met Bishop David Ford, and his wife, they just expanded the program to maybe go for 5 days instead of the 3 days that they came for the meals. And then as the crowd grew, children from the street could come get some meals, and then as the crowd grew, there was a need for basic training, so they started some kind of a basic training still under that tree. The tree still exists. It's a big jacaranda tree outside here, outside our compound, so it is quite sentimental. Then they could teach basic things like languages, that is English and Swahili, and also maths. Then after that, there was also a need to have the children have a place to stay, because at that particular time, children came, took the meals, and then left again to go back to the streets. So they started a small shelter, initially with boys. There were 7 boys who moved into a small wooden structure, and then the program has now grown. So what we are talking about is that whoever started under a tree is now a fully fledged school
Was it
of
ilikuwa
around.
Mugumo tree? Ama tu. It wasn't
Sorry.
the Mugumo tree.
Yeah. Yeah. So now it has grown to a fully
Okay.
fledged school of 540 children,
Okay.
and starting from nursery school to class 8. And the few boys that were sheltered, now that initial population has grown, and currently we have a big boys' house with around 70 kids. And then
Wow.
by and by, there was also a need to shelter the girls, so we also have a big girls' house, currently with almost the same number, around 70. So in total, starting from the initial 7 that were sheltered, we are currently sheltering around 130 to
Wow.
140 kids at any one time, of course, with a potential to shelter even more as we build
Yeah.
the capacity for the staff and also the infrastructure. Over that period, there was also a need to particularly focus on young people. So an out-of-school youth program was started, and actually it ran almost concurrently because just a few years after the initial group came in, there was such skilled courses like carpentry, leatherwork, and garment making that were also introduced, specifically targeting young people. The young people we call out of school youth, those who are not in school, but they're just within the community. So over time, most of those courses have been scrapped, but we still have a garment making school. Currently, it has 42 students from vulnerable backgrounds. Then also within that period, Susanna and I visited the Nakuru dam site, normally called just goes by the name Gyoto up there. So, and they also noticed the need for having a program or a project that will target kids up there. So a nursery school was started up there. Currently, it has 70 kids, targeting the community that lives and makes the economic the dam site. So those kids, when they graduate, they join other schools around that area. So currently, we have we have 150 kids in schools outside New York Africa International School. That means they are not in this school. They are not among the 550, but they are under our program, supported at Mlimani Primary School, Tizons Primary School, and many other primary schools around that place. Then, of course, with time, we had a group of students completing primary school, and they have joined secondary schools. Currently, we have 100 in various secondary schools in Kenya, and they over time we have also had completing high school and joining universities and colleges, and others joining skills training. Currently, we have 42 who are in different courses, and over and above that, and which is our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to make sure that the kid who came in nursery school becomes self-sustaining, like they're able to stand on their own, and also at some point, even when they are standing on their own, they are able to impact on the other families. So we might not be happy in a whole community, but we believe that by giving the kids education, then we impact positively on the whole community, because we also anticipate that when the young people have some kind of employment, they go back and support their families. So that is our approach. So we have a big population of people who have also graduated from various levels of tertiary training. We have those who have graduated with diplomas, degrees, certificates, skills training from middle level colleges, and now they have families and they are living on their own. So we have produced almost we have people in almost every sector. Talk about skills training. We have very good carpenters out there, and actually we have even had to go back out there and hire them back to work for us because they are really good. Like our maintenance person is one of the old boys. We've had really good nurses. We have people working in big insurance firms. We have people in every sector. So we can actually follow from ground there and actually see success based on the lives of those kids who have been through our program. Yeah.
Second, so Kennedy, I'm impressed that basically,
Yes.
with Felix being here as an example of someone who came into New Life, you have mentioned that you have
Yeah.
produced or you have people who came in and now are big people in society now, working in insurance companies. Some are doctors, some are teachers, and that's quite impressive. You know, it shows you that your today does not determine your future. You can be anything you want. Yeah, as we said, no human is limited. And before I go on with you, I just want to throw it to Festo. I see he's very happy there. I think mafans wameingia wanamrushia hapo ma high fives. Festo, so about tuambie, when did you, please remind us, when did you join or start working at New Life International Africa, and what inspired you to join New Life International Africa?
Uh, thank you, Adesh, once again. I was still working as a gardener at Jens and Malena, yeah. And at times they would ask me if I'm interested to go to New Life and maybe volunteer in one way or the other. So I would go there. That was way back in 2006. So I volunteered in 2006, 2007. So whenever schools were closing, I would go there because the New Life usually extend by two or 3 weeks. So I would go there, help them in mathematics, CRE, and science. I'm not very good in social studies, but mathematics and CRE, I was really good at that. So after that, after graduating, I landed a job in Moranga, somewhere in Maragua, St. Francis Samba, and I was given a class 8. You've graduated in August, September. You're somewhere in outside your county, and you're given a big class, candidate class, and they expect you to perform. Yeah, and true to the word, they performed extremely well. It's only that there were issues to do with the post-election violence by that time that I had to move back to Nakuru, and I landed the job. I officially started the job in 2009 here at New Life Africa International. Yeah.
Landed the job, you forgo your gardening job, like with blessings, you moved.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite funny, and let me tell you, God has His own ways of doing things. So, whenever I was in college, there was a guy. Apparently, that guy we are working with him is my co-worker here at New Life. He's the one who is doing the job here at New Life. Yeah, James. So apparently, when I was there, when I was in college, the guy would do the job. So when schools are closed, first of all, we volunteer at New Life, and he's being called, hey, let's give this guy a leave. You come and do some of the work here. So I would go there. I would go there faithfully, and I didn't ask to be paid. I didn't
What
want
work
to.
were you doing? What work were you doing?
Oh, of course, waiting. Car wash, yeah,
Wow.
cleaning the dogs, my friend, cooking the dogs.
Umetoka mbali, umetoka
Yeah,
mbali.
and I loved it. I was giving stories to my guys that at times it was tempting. My boss lives with me. 2 chickens, kindly cook for the dogs, and they were like, and I was like, 2 chickens. So I'm the one who you can how tempting it was. Yeah, and
Okay.
I would do my job faithfully. Oh,
Wow.
if this has been left for this purpose, I'll make sure. I'll always make sure that it ended well. It
Yeah.
ended for the intended purpose. That was it. That's how
Okay.
I kept on doing my stuffs, and with time, I was finally employed, and I was like, hey, now there's something I had promised God. If I'll get a job, or if I'll graduate, get a job, I'll have to give back. Now, what would I do to these kids? And New Life kids are amazing.
Yeah.
If you want blessings, Adesh, and I'm telling you, and all the other people are listening at me. If you want blessings, what are you people telling you? God loves a cheerful giver. No.
Yeah.
God loves those people who loves children,
Yeah.
who loves orphans,
Yeah.
and who loves the widows and the widows. Unasikia? Go help a widow.
Mumesikia ninyi wa guys wenye mna watch, mutupende please.
Yeah, go help a widow out there. Go help a child out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've touched their hearts. And that's my passion. When I see a child succeed in life, I feel like I'm on top of the world. Yani niko juu.
Yeah.
Nikiona, oh, this so and so, I'm really excited. I'm really happy. Yeah, that's how it all started. Yeah.
Okay. Before we continue, I would just like to recognize our viewers. Wow, already the traffic of comments is amazing. So that means you guys are definitely changing lives. And Malaika Matunda, thank you. She says, finally, thanks guys for understanding. We had an issue. Nico Situational is watching. Karibu Sana. Bobo Imaina says, yes. That means he's happy to be on board, always supportive and always watching our shows. Niska Odera says, awesome. Kennedy Nakuona with me, Felix. Acheng Nyapacho all the way from Dubai, always watching. True Munyore fan, thank you so much to T for always coming on board. Malaika Matunda says, charge fast, yeah, because Felix, you've told us how the people who gave you the opportunity insisted that you have to be, to go to church, and I think that has definitely affected who you are in society today. Peter Ongondo says, God bless, good job always, Festo. Lilian Otieno, my cousin in the USA, says, wow, blessed testimony, God works in mysterious ways. Felix, Switzerland, I lived there. Wow, Kamagambo, that's our home actually. So she's happy to hear that your journey also started from Kamagambo. So as we go on, I'll keep on reading the comments. Colin Cooper says, Mungu ni mwema Flex.
Adesh.
Yes.
That's the one. That's the chick. That's the chick who did everything.
Oh, Colin! Oh my God, Colin!
Yes.
God bless you in abundance. I mean, you have changed her life. So congratulations to you, and may you keep on just being there and doing the most. So wow, I'm happy she's watching. And then Dama, my neighbor, Karibu Sana, she says, Adesh, you look awesome. And Jack M. Kariuki says he's following. And Dama, thank you. She says she's from a meeting. Somebody give me a glass of something. You can have a glass of milk. Amos Onyikwa says, Felix was a man who also helped me to change my future when he introduced me to rugby, which has helped me a lot. Wow, I'm happy to hear that, Amos. Baba Akim, number one fan, that is my husband. He says, great to see Mwalimu and manager on board to sell the great and touching story of what really happens at New Life International in Nakuru, New Life International Africa. I have been there severally and I just love the entire program. The rugby stars produced through the program brings me closer home, preach to the world about the good things you do. Excellent job. Keep changing the lives of the faithful. Wow. So you guys, you see, these comments are not just, we're not the ones who've typed them. These are people who are watching and actually acknowledge what you've done. So I'll keep on reading. And there's Jamlik Zamalek. He says, Festo is my coach at Wanyore. Wow, a real coach and a leader too. I can't wait for rugby to resume and continue playing under him. Kudos, coach, for your achievements. I wish all these comments was thrown at me. At Dempoa. So Kennedy and Felix, you're definitely doing a great job. And back now to you, Kennedy. Who qualifies to come to New Life Africa International? You said needy students. So how do you decide? I mean, I'm sure it's a huge population of people from poor backgrounds. Can I use the word poor or less fortunate? Let me use less fortunate. So how do you determine who will come into New Life Africa International?
So all our services are free of charge. Currently, we have around 800 beneficiaries, and our services are without pay. Of course, without pay for the beneficiaries, but someone else is paying, because it cannot be absolutely free. Because if you're talking about education, we have teachers who need to be paid. So it is absolutely free to the person who is receiving, but not free, like it doesn't have some costs. So what we do is that we have a very strong social work department, which assesses the needs. So all our services are offered based on need. So we never do academic like interviews to identify whether you are needy or not. We first do a needs assessment. So are you poor? Are you needy? Do you have a need for care and protection? Yes. Then you qualify. So that's what we do. And our staff have been trained to be social workers. We have almost everybody being a social worker. We have social working directors, social working teachers, because our main aim is to identify the needs and then act on them. So nothing else, just based on need.
Okay. And I'll still continue with the comments. So I'm trying, because there are so many comments coming. Rispam Babu, all the way again from the US. So I told you guys, our viewers are not just from, unajua, sisi ni wale wase. Dorcas Njari, kudos for the good good work you are doing to serve humanity. And Felix, I hear you are the best teacher in social studies, despite him coming from working as a gardener. Wow, that's humbling. Peter Ongono said, I know Festo useme akifika Olympic imetosha, najua, but the next generation will lose a mentor, so keep working. So, and someone is impressed. Kula says, Mungu ni mwema flex. Acheng Nyapacho, she says, remember to always give back. It works wonders. Whether you lose everything at one point, God restores all that you have lost in awesome ways. Why? Because giving back comes back 100-fold. So Felix, so now you go into new life. We've had this discussion, and you started teaching. And how did you manage teaching, mentoring, and introducing the sport? Because I know you introduced the sport of rugby.
Yeah. Wow, Adesh, it's amazing when I'm saying this, when I'm testifying this, because it's really humble, and I'm really humbled, and I'm happy to share it. When I was given a class, whichever class I was given by my boss that happens to be the head teacher.
Yes.
Whenever I go to the class, before I start teaching,
Yes.
I start by sharing my story. Yeah, because I understand where these kids have come from. I know their background. I know what they are going through, because we are usually given a brief of what to expect from the kids. So when I go to class, I share about myself. I give them my real story. At some point, some of the students, some of the pupils, they didn't believe it until the guy whom I was working for came and told them, this guy, this was my gardener. And they were like, oh, wow. So after that, I introduced something in all the classes I was teaching. Each and every lesson, whenever I'm having a lesson in either of the class, there was somebody who was leading by what? By first praying. We would pray. Pray. Then after that, I would start doing what? I would start teaching. Then I would, if it happens, the kids are not getting whatever I wanted them to get, I would just write a song on the blackboard, and then we start singing. We just sing until the lesson is over. Tell them, okay, if you have any issues, kindly come down to the staff room. I'll see how to do what. I'll see how to sort you out. And I tried as much as possible to come closer to them. Behave with them. So whenever they are playing out during the break time, I would go out there and play with them. Then how did I start rugby? Rugby didn't just start, because the first thing I told you was like, what will I do for these kids? So the first thing I started was traditional dance. This traditional dance, apparently, we went all the way to provincials. Then all of a sudden, on the day of traveling, first was children. You're not going. Yeah, you're not going.
Na vile na pia vile ujui kudance Festo.
Maze
hata ulifika huko aje?
Unajua hizo sting. Mimi najua tu zile za sting.
Odi dance, odi.
Yes. Monate ndiye alinifunza hiyo.
Monate, I hope you're watching.
Now, so Festo ndio hiyo traditional dance amechujwa. What did Festo do? Festo thought of something else and no other teacher would do what? No other teacher is doing in the school. Festo started a music choir, singing in a choir. So because whenever I was teaching them in class, all blah 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 blah, sing, yeah, I would mix the songs, yeah, try to get something good, something nice, good tonal variations, yeah. So when we are presenting something in church, yeah, it usually blessed me, and I was like, oh, these kids are happy. So it's something that they love doing. After that, went to handball. That's the time I knew, oh, these boys are really talented. Yeah.
Yes.
If they can play handball, it means they can also try what? Try rugby. So then one day, first of things of rugby, gave them one ball. All of a sudden, the ball had a puncher. Guess what? These boys took a plastic in a bottle, filled in with sand, then
wow. Innovation 101.
Yeah, you can imagine.
They were so determined.
Yes. So after observing that, I had now to request the club to allow me to be doing what? To be training the kids at the rugby club. Yeah. So you can imagine now here there are two things: one, getting permission from NAC to train the kids; two, getting permission from Kennedy. He was the lead social worker to allow to be giving me kids to go with them to NAC, and it's quite a distance and their kids. Kennedy told me, so long as they are safe, so long as you're with them, I don't care. You go with them. Yeah. So we would train. Hapo ndio Mungu alikuja na alikuja mwenyewe, hakutumana. Alikuja mwenyewe. Because that time, yes. I remember that there's this guy, Ronald Lovega. Ronald Lovega was like, Festo, how comes you've never started rugby in your school? And I'm like, what do you mean? I already started. It's only that I don't have what? I don't have balls. The one that I had a puncher. So, tuko hapo tu. And my salary is really kidogo. Do you know how much I was earning by then? 6 Gs.
Wow, 6,000.
6,000 bob. 6,000 bob. Ndio ujue Mungu ni Mungu tu. Wacha itwe Mungu.
Na siku hizi hiyo 6,000 unamalizanga in one day.
Wewe unachoma.
Nachoma.
Kama inaenda kwa if it goes to toys, well and good.
Yes, so, I know. I've seen you with kids. I know how you don't play with that. Yeah.
And New Life has really supported whatever I want in terms of rugby, in terms of sports. Yeah, ninapatiwa. Yani they're like, we've seen what you are doing, so we'll support you to the end. Yeah, okay. We'll support you to the end. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Before since just to bring in Kennedy a bit. Kennedy, I've picked that when the ulemse wa kusign my checks, you're the KEB stamp, approved and signed. If you don't approve, I NLAI. Kennedy, just a brief. Please remind me, when did you join New Life, and just take me through how you grew to where you are now. Manager. Hata hiyo kiti yako si ndogo. Ni a manager tu ina swing.
Okay, I joined New Life back in 2010, and as a lead social worker. So all through I've been working as a lead social worker and actually even now, as I said, all our staff are actually social working people. So I actually up to now advice on issues relating to social work. I'm still the head of the social work department, but over the years, of course, the organization has undergone through many changes over 10 years. Of course, changes in numbers, changes in staffing. So maybe due to my consistency, I just find myself having more duties also. So it's just all through I've been a social worker, a lead social worker, and when opportunity came in, then I'm there to lead the community. So I actually don't find myself more of a manager. Actually, I don't. I am more. I'm trained as a community development person. So I would rather view myself as a community leader. Like I work together with the people. I'm not someone who is there and then to give directions, but rather I'm there to facilitate the dreams of various staff members. Currently, we have around 72 staff members. So actually, you can't manage. I want to say this, that it is controversial, but you can't manage 72 people. It would be easier to work together with them rather than manage them. So I would rather be called a community leader. I work together with different people to make sure that they are achieving whatever goals they have, of course, within the larger vision of New Life Africa International of raising leaders for tomorrow. So that is basically what I do, and it is something that I've done all along. Because as you can hear, I've worked previously with Felix even before I had the larger responsibilities. I've worked with him facilitating, making sure that if kids can't be very good in academic, or they can be both good in academic and sports, then we give them that opportunity. And then Felix was the right person to do that. So I work together with him to make sure that that child becomes a leader, not academically, but they have been leaders even on other aspects as sports and other activities. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Kennedy, sorry, I like that at New Life you nurture talent. Yeah. You know, nakumbuka si tukigrow my mother watches OINK, but nitasema tu kweli tulikuwa tunaambiwa ni vitabu, you have to study, like your future will only be bright if you pass in academics. Yeah. And in real sense, we can't all be the same, we can't all be stars in class, but there's talent. And I came when I saw the different things, like that wall clock in your office somewhere there. Then you told me it's a student from a beneficiary of New Life, and now he has his own shop where he does crafts and all that. Wow. And I just want to applaud you guys. Then one thing where I know other people want to ask is, how do you who are your sponsors? Na si sponsor ya weka ni dem na watch si sponsors za nini za nywele na your sponsors, like who comes on board, how do you get your sponsors? And you can answer that with what do you offer, like in securing a future for all the kids after New Life, then what?
First I start with the question about who our sponsors are. New Life Africa International is actually sponsored by individuals. We actually don't go out to look for big companies or big banks or multinational companies to sponsor us, but it's a group of well-wishers all over the world. Okay, mostly, sadly so, from Europe. So most a good number of them, maybe most of them from Denmark and the other Scandinavian countries. So we get sponsorship from individual people, like our directors, Susanna and Live. They approach different people, individual people, not organizations, and then give them the story of New Life. And then, of course, the sponsors are are there to know that we deal with real people, we come to the ground if they are willing to do so. And over time, we have a community of uh, of, uh, of supporters all over the world. And again, as I said, is that most of our sponsors are from Europe. So now going back to what my colleague said, Felix said, that you get a blessing by giving. That automatically tells you that the local community is missing out on the blessings, because we have very few people. We have very few Kenyans. Actually, they're almost non-existent who are actually willing to support us.
Just wait. So let me wait, Kennedy. Before you go on and before I go on to the comments, so there are no Kenyans who even come through to sponsor. Ata politicians, ata MCA, ata MP. Nani anakujanga? Yani hakuna mtu hata analetanga bei ya unga.
Menengai comes in handy, and you see Menengai came in Menengai oil refineries.
Oh, Menengai oil. Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear.
Menengai oil refineries came in handy, and
Menengai oil refineries.
And they've paid fees for over 50 kids. For over 50 kids.
Wow.
That's New Life alone. So when we go to the program that we have generally, even at the rugby club, at the Nakuru Rugby Club, it's more than 200. It's more than 200 kids who are benefiting directly from Menengai. In addition to that, we get things in what? Things in kind. Yes, we get things in kind. We get cooking oil, we get cooking fat, we get basos, we get sugar. To me, that's something that I'm proud of. Yeah.
But
how I wish more people would come on board and support these noble cause. Because don't have the assumption it's new life, everything is sorted. You might even come to New Life and even talk to a kid, inspire that kid. Just tell a kid how you succeeded in life. Maybe you inspire a kid in one way or the other. People have that perception. Oh, it's New Life. No. Yeah.
Okay.
You can come and even mambo kia Mungu, ubilia mtoto. Yeah.
Yes, but I think maybe and I appreciate for Menengai good stuff. Kudos to you. Nikikuja pia mimi nipatie mafuta, nimewa mention for free. Wacha ni let me read some of the comments. Wow. I'm amazed. Jesus, can my technical team help me here with my comments on the screen? Yes, Susan Madsen, we had said. I think you know Susan Madsen. Thank you for good work, all of you. All what you see here is only because of God's love. We give God all the glory. So that's Susan. I think you had mentioned.
That's our director.
Oh, that's your director. Thank you, Susan, for watching. Thank you for taking your time, and thank you for setting up this great initiative. May God bless you. Babakim says, humble beginning, my friend. I'm chuffed. Malaika says, I believe the little children are our future. That's very true. Nicholas Abala Abok says, don't despise your humble beginning. And that's true. From you guys, from your beginning and to where you are, kudos. Then my next comment, Charlotte Ngaruya says, thanks for making such a huge contribution in our society. For sure, blessings will follow you. Just the smiles and grateful hearts of the kids that have passed through NLAI. Kudos. Thank you, Charlotte.
That's my wife.
Oh, hey. Okay, behind every successful man. Thank you, Mrs. Kariuki. Is she Mrs. Kariuki? Okay, thanks so much, Charlotte. And for supporting the Anthony Mshiri, all the way in Eldoret, a good friend. He says, wow, humble beginning from grass to great. Mzito, we envy your way. Thank you, Mushiri. Nicholas again says, Felix is one of those coaches who pays attention to detail, never afraid to take risk, and will go an extra mile for his friends and players, a true friend. And I can attest to that. He has a very big heart. Harry Joseph says, have worked with both gentlemen. Festo is a go-getter. Whatever Festo wants, Festo gets. He shared with me the dream to have at least one of his ladies team players at the 2020 Olympics. That was 6 years ago. Now look at him, hard work. As for Kennedy, he's one leader who gives one freedom to express themselves at work. Great team over there. Long live New Life. Oh, wow. You guys, I'm amazed.
Thank you, Joseph.
Ken Yogo, thank you for watching. He says, I support the sentiment. We owe Festo so much at Bomet University College. Yes, Festo, I've heard your story about Bomet. He gave us a very fast ball. Guy, nitalia, niko karibu kulia. Lakini chai yangu inanifanya niko strong. Lillian says, thank you, Felix and Kennedy. God bless you both. Amen. That's again Lillian, my cousin in the United States of America. So we have like maybe 15 more minutes. Kennedy, you didn't answer my question about... I had asked a question that Felix gave you a high tackle over there. He just came in and answered it.
About sponsorship. Yes. Okay, we thank God for Menengai, but as I said, we are not looking for big organization to do that. We are grateful for Menengai, and actually it's really good help that they are sponsoring some of our kids and also giving us some items, cooking oil and such things. But we want to, we don't want this scenario where only big organizations are receiving the blessing. We are looking for you and you specific people to come in and do something like Felix said. Just come, pass by, say hi to the kids, give them your life story, inspire them. We are looking for individual people. Like I said, from Europe, we don't have big one. Okay, maybe there is, maybe one or two, but the majority of people who sponsor this program are individuals. Those are the people we are looking for. Those are the people we are looking at. Those are the people we are actually we actually want to bring on board, so that they can also, by example, teach our children that giving is living. That despite that most of us have gone through challenges, we are not holding what we now have, but we are sharing, because as I said, giving is living. That's the people we are looking at. You see, a big organization, if you give and you have a lot, the kid will think that you are giving because you have. But we want to see ordinary people coming in, those who do not have a lot, giving, and then inspiring the children, telling them that now they are here, they have little, and they can share. Those are the people you are looking for.
So like for me, whose background is media communications, development, PR, I can, if I want to change a life, I can just come to New Life and talk about where I am, what I do. Basically, then have to be material stuff. It can also just be motivation. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yes. For me,
it doesn't have to be material things. We could be having some girls who want to be in the media when they grow up. So just by sharing your story, you could be motivating several people to join your lane, and that's what we're asking for.
Okay, so if you're watching, guys, please, if you can get a chance to get to New Life International Africa, New Life Africa International, please, it doesn't have to be material. Even if it's material na ni unga tatu, you have changed your life by going there. You know, there's always that notion that New Life International Africa is sponsored by people outside the country. So, I mean, they already have. No, listen to the number of people the children they're taking care of every day. It's a big number. So they need every support. Now, I just want quickly to jump to, James Kennedy Oma, karibu sana. Malaika invited you. Umesema umechelewa, but don't worry. We appreciate you coming onto the show. So, Festo, we just want to quickly jump to your rugby journey and some of your highlights, Festo. Can you just take us through some of your highlights? And if you're watching, guys, remember I said Felix Oloo is the head coach Nakuru Top Fry Rugby and head coach Kenya Lionesses women's team. Kama mjui na mjasikia wenye watch rugby, Kenya Lionesses is our national women's team. And he's the head coach, yes. Mwenye mnashangaa, gardener turned head coach. He's changing lives. And Some of your highlights, Felix, are age grade coaching, player, head coach. What's your philosophy? What's your philosophy, and what's next for you?
For me, hard work will always beat talent. You might be a talented player, and you're not working hard. You won't get what you want. So any day, I love that player who works hard than a talented player. Yes, you might be talented. I'll ensure I'll help you to go to the next level. But in most cases, when those talented players know that they're good in something, if you are not careful, if not carefully taken care of, they will bring you down. They'll bring you down. So in terms of achievements, to me, the big one was Olympic qualifier, and there are still two things that are really in my head. That is the World Series qualifier. I would really love to see the women's team qualifying for World Series, the 15th team qualifying for World Cup. To me, those are my main things that I'm looking at. When it comes to Nakuru, I would love to see them coming back to where they were, coming back to their position. Of course, now we have Menengai Oilers, our brothers up there, and I'm happy the Pioneers, close to 80% were my children. So I'm really happy with the developments that I'm seeing. And when it comes to new life, I would really love to see the kids who've passed here. If God has really blessed you in one or the other, never despise. I've seen someone's comment, never despise your humble beginning. Me, I'm proud of where I came from. So never despise that place and never forget where you came from. It was God's plan. It was God's plan for you to come through new life. Yeah, it was God's plan. You didn't come here by mistake. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that those children who are here by mistake. Right now, the school-going children from New Life are home, and we have the ones who are still here. Where they are still here at the children's home. They call this place a home. They don't have any other home. So if you despise this place, no, that's not good. That's not good. So, and love everything you're doing. Work as if you're working for the last time, as if you're working for God. Yeah. And above all, always thank God for everything. Always thank God. One thing that keeps me going, I know how to manage my expectation. Yeah, I know I'm a chief of sinners. Yeah, some will brand me, oh, that's a chief of sinner. I know all that, but when it comes something to do with me and my God, yeah, I ensure before I sleep, I thank God for the day. When I wake up early in the morning, yeah, and you already know my schedule. I'm always awake by 3 a.m. I'm always awake.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the time.
hour of prayer. 3 a.m. is the hour of prayer.
Yeah, after I wake up, I'll whisper my own prayers. Then I start thinking of new life in that sequence. Oh, it's new life. It's Nakuru Rugby. It's Lionesses. Now, how will I change? This player, this need. This player, this need. Yeah, and I write them down. And I'm like, God, please hear my prayer. God, please hear my prayer. Whatever I reach, I won't say it's Festo. It's God. It's totally
Good
God.
stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I'll go into some of the questions about where you feel that the Kenya Lionesses, in terms of, the COVID has affected us, but that's a question I'm going to hold before we end in the next, I think I'm being allotted 10 minutes. Kennedy, I'm very keen and interested, and someone has sent a private message. What happens, and I think you didn't get a chance to respond. What are some of the challenges you face at New Life Africa International, and you feel that can be changed because we can come in as society and help? Maybe, and then the future of the kids after New Life. Then what? What happens to this? How do you is there a time you stop support, like when they turn 18, kila mtu sasa ende kivyake, ama how does munoperate aje?
So we have individual care plans because different beneficiaries have different needs. But basically, what we go for is by the time the children leave this place, then they either have a path through which they can engage with other stakeholders to be able to be self-sustaining, or they have a skill that can be easily converted to a means of livelihood. So depending on what category of beneficiaries that we are talking about, if specifically for the children from the children's home, we ensure that they have some kind of training or a skill. And then after that, when they have graduated, we support them on a reducing basis for a period of 3 months. And then within that 3 months, we encourage them to we either encourage them or link them to other stakeholders who can give them either work experience or unemployment. So basically, for depending on what level, if you come into the primary school and you are a child from the children, then we have depending on how you perform and also depending on the available resources, you have an opportunity of attaining up to a degree level of training or have some kind of a skill. But again, if I can jump a little bit and talk about one of the challenges and then come back, we are not able to have the 800 to attain the highest level of satisfaction that there could be because we have limited resources. So at every level, we have to come up with a criteria for coming up with a group of people who we are able to assist at that particular level. So for example, an ordinary class at L.in.K Africa International School has 50 pupils. Then in high school, when they join high school, now depending on the resources and also now we have to peg the help on something. So we peg the help on the performance. So we'll definitely maybe help the group that you're able to support up to the extent that you're able to support. Like for example, out of the 50 who finish primary next year, we could be having 30 who are going to join Form 1 and our full sponsorship. But the children from the children's home, we make sure that they still join because we are the sole providers. Like they are our kids, so they get some beneficial treatment because they entirely depend on us for everything. So we make sure that at least 100% of those who have completed each level and they're from the home move to the next level. But again, for the rest, due to the scarcity of resources, we have to narrow down to a number that we can support. So now it just depends on what level you came in, but ultimately we link you to different other stakeholders who can be able to take you where we are not able, of course, due to the limitation of resources.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. At least it's a continuous process. You don't just shock someone halfway, like, okay, we're done with you, bye. So I like that there's still like it's a program, and you follow that. We have like 5 more minutes. Let's say 3 more minutes. And Felix Oloo, I want to ask you a hard question. So because I'm an ardent follower of rugby, and you know how and why. There's you're the head coach of Kenya Lionesses, and I know you're so strong about discipline, and I've seen you on the pitch where when your hands are wrapped behind your back and you don't want even to say hi to anyone because it's business. There was an issue about some of your players in the ladies team where you had to stand your ground and is it dismiss them or give disciplinary action? And I mean, that's something that was big. It was all over the media. What can you tell us about that? For anyone who's watching and wants an explanation, yes, I've thrown you to the deep end.
Thank you, Adesh. In matters to do with the Lionesses team, there are some things we don't discuss them out here. We leave them to the communications manager. But as at that situation, the disciplinary committee handled it, and we are still waiting for their communication. So I can't really talk much about it. But Felix will always be Felix. I do my job faithfully. I do my job in the most passionate way. I'm passionate in everything that I do. I might be tough. I might not be tough, but I'm firm. I'm firm in my decisions in whatever I do, and I'm ready to bite the bullet. Especially if it's something to do with discipline. Because even here at New Life, I was the discipline master. I've been the discipline master of the school, and there's been some very good behaviors coming from the school. If were it not for discipline, we won't be having an international coach. New Life has produced an international coach. That is Noreen. That is Noreen Liosi. New Life has produced the youngest referee in the country. That is Lawrence Ishuga. That boy from New Life. It is this New Life Africa International which has molded Lawrence Ocholler to start his own rugby club, Nakuru Kitty. So Lawrence has started his own rugby club in Nakuru Kitty, and he was a teacher here at New Life. And I hear most of the guys who are playing there again. A good percentage of those players are from where? Are from New Life International. So what I would say, it's a matter of discipline that we see from all the workers, we see from all the teachers, I see from all the students that is gearing us to success. That personal discipline of ensuring, by 7:20, all the workers are in school. They're having a morning devotion. Have you ever seen a place where workers are praying? We come together, we pray, and we pray for the kids. Remember, here it's not about yourself, it's about the kids. So if you're here about yourself, to me, I always believe you're in the wrong place. It's about the kids. Yeah. So discipline is everything.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that. For anyone who's watching, and this will be recorded, Felix Oloo amesema usitulize maswali zingine. No more whispers. He has said it as it is. And after getting to the final of Dubai Sevens with the Lionesses, what is next for you? And do you think you can qualify for the Rugby World Cup?
Yes, those guys are disciplined. Yes. Yes, we'll qualify. The 15th players are very good. It's only that in the finals against South Africa, they panicked a little bit. And I believe that panic, I've tried as much as possible to do to erase it. So I'm pretty sure they're going to qualify. Because number one, they have to play, for them to get to the World Cup, they have to play repechage. And in the repechage, they're playing against Colombia. We've watched those videos more than 50 times. Get it from me. We're going to beat Colombia, hands down, go to the repechage and get our place. And I would really, for me, my main target, the women to be the first team, the first rugby team in Kenya to go to the World Cup.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I want them to go before the men go. They always say ladies first. Okay, let's make it a reality. Ladies first to go to the World Cup first. To me, that's
congratulations on that.
Yeah, I really want it.
Awesome. So, and your life has said, in fact, Amos Obai says, Baba Gabriel adesonga nyuma kiasi, camera too close. Usonge nyuma, wache kuhog. Alafu boy minor. Okay, don't you
Nimesonga.
Boy Minor says, I know a few guys at NSC. Great to hear from you, Felix. Zamani I was the guy of arriving nikiwa nimecrack. Siku hizi nimeona game kama kumi full time. Lose or win wanyore damu. So your fans are watching. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, because of time, remember that to support New Life Africa International, you can send your contribution via paybill 982800, account number 2000111646460. It's all on the screen. Remember, it can be in kind, and you can also just go to the New Life Africa International institution and be of support, whether it's about what to do, mentoring the young boys and girls, and just being there for them. They also need emotional support apart from material support. Kennedy, I'll move to you. Your parting shot for anything that we might have missed out about New Life Africa International. Is there something else you want to tell us, and then your parting shot before I finish off with Felix?
Okay, first of all, I want to thank everyone who has in the past assisted us. We have had a good working environment, of course, with support from the local stakeholders, the national government. But one more thing that maybe we have not touched about is maybe you asked, but then I've not answered it very well. Is about the effect of, maybe you didn't ask, and I'm still going to answer anyway. So the effect of what effect this pandemic has on our program. Of course, just the other kids, our kids are no longer in school and they're at home. But you know that these kids are in our program because they have a specific need, and one of the needs that we have identified over the many years is food. So when the schools are not running, our kids are at home, a majority of them, and we have seen a need. Most of our kids outside there are sleeping. They're engaging in not very good activities due to the fact that they need to look for some food. So in the past 2 months, we have come up with a program, a different support program, whereby we are giving food to the 755 families that we are supporting. From where our kids come from. We are now doing almost in the 3rd month. It has been successful. So again, that is a program that people come in and join us in supporting those kids. They represent the community because we have our catchment is quite big. Our kids come from all over these slums. So when we are giving food to 755 families, that means we are impacting on quite a big population outside there. Some other need that has come up is the issue that is all over the media, and it's something that we are, myself and my team down here, we are trying to come up with several suggestions. We have had in the media and in the social media about what is happening to our girls, the teenagers, that a good number of them have been abused sexually, and we've also had quite some many pregnancies reported in this part of Nakuru. So one of the reasons could be that they are going out there to look for food, but we have also had some other reasons, like they are looking out to get some money to buy sanitary towels. Of course, could just be truant. So something that we can think about how we are able to talk to these girls, mobilize the girls, have some sessions, of course, within the COVID-19, making sure that we adhere to the government regulations about the number of people that we can hold per session, have some people talk to them. So we have different professionals, counselors outside there who want to partner with us, or people who want to put in some even donations to go towards that course, sanitary towels, such other things. Then we are soon coming up with a way of where we can reach those girls. We want to see them back in school in January, and we still have a long way to go. We still have like 4 months to go. So if we keep quiet about this issue, we might.
Okay. Okay.
So after a few things,
okay. And I see your director, Susan Madsen, has also just reminded us of your international web, which is www.newlife-africa.org, and your Facebook page for anyone who's watching. It's New Life Africa International. And she says you can visit our website and do payment through PayPal or use the account in Kenya. And after this, for sure, on Monday, we'll put up all these details just to remind anyone who wants to come in. For anyone who's watching and you want to mobilize, even for the girls, if it's pads, if it's clothing in kind. So whatever comes will help, right? I'm assuming. I've lost Kennedy a bit, but I'll move to Felix Oloo because I'm winding up. Felix, your parting shot before we finish.
Yeah.
Your parting shot. What message do you want to give the viewers? Anyone who's watching, and just from your story and Africa International.
For me, it's
1 minute.
One, I'll say, whatever you do, work as if you're working for God, not for men. If you're working for men, you're not doing anything. But if you're working for God to glorify God, everything will just go the way you want them to be. Seek Him first, and all the desires you have will always come to you. And that's all I can say for now, because for me, just as I said, I'm not a perfect guy. I might be the chief of sinners. I might be. But all I know there is God. There is God in heaven, and that's what I need guys to know. Whatever you do, always put God first. The rest will fall in place.
Okay. Awesome. So guys, thank you so much. It was a beautiful, beautiful show. So informative, educative. Remember, at OINK, OINK stands for Only in Kenya, for anyone who's watching and is not sure about what we stand for. We stand to, we basically aspire to inspire. So every show we have, believe me or not, has an impact on society or an individual. And for us, even one person who's impacted by this show, by Kennedy, impacting change, impacting lives, livelihoods. Kennedy and Felix, even if it's two people whose lives have changed through your encouragement and just what your life history, what you've gone through, where you are now, because important people in society, we really appreciate you for coming onto your show. We appreciate your director for watching. Felix, we appreciate your sponsor for coming on board and watching and taking time. I know there's much to talk about New Life Africa International, but because of time, it won't allow us. But I know we can keep the conversation going. So thank you, Kennedy, so much for coming onto the show. Ubarikiwe, God bless you. Felix, same to you. Thank you so much for taking your time. It's a Saturday, it's family day, but you actually agreed to come, and despite our challenges, you've sat with us and you've been on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, we have to go. From me, Adero Ocholler, remember to always roll the R. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at OINK, only in Kenya. Until next time, we appreciate you. We love you. For any further details, we have the information on the screen. You can also reach out on the website on how to maybe if you want to volunteer or work with New Life Africa in terms of just providing and impacting change. We appreciate. Until next time, God bless you. Tunawapenda. Bye bye.
Bye. Sante sana. Sante sana.
Okay.
Yeah.